Athlete's Lifestyle 2 by Elliot Mills. First, we are looking at the key points to a good interview. You must always maintain eye contact with them so they know you're interested in what they are saying. You must have a clear voice so you can get your point across and they fully understand. Background knowledge: you must know what you are talking about so you can go into depth into a sport or a person's career. Give a firm handshake as this is considered to be polite. Answer all the questions that they have for you in full. Now looking more in depth at some of these points to an interview. Communicating accurately and clearly. You will have a verbal and non-verbal type of interview, but the main outcome of the two different types are the same. You are trying to give them information. For example, an athlete could be writing to their sponsors in order to persuade them to get more money, but once they have written it, they cannot get it back to rewrite, so they have to get it right the first time. So you can practice a skill by writing out numerous letters and getting other people's opinions on that letter. And in verbal communication, you should have good listening skills so you can understand what they are saying, just in case it is misinterpreted. Preparation for communication. In order to carry out the interview, you need to be prepared, and you can do this in a lot of different ways. First, do some research on the athlete or company so you can talk about in-depth stuff and get more out of the athlete. Create a script that you can lightly follow, but allow some freedom in the interview. Find a main point for the interview, so if you are interviewing a new player at a club, stick to what they think about the club and the ambitions of the club, not what happened last Saturday night. You can practice some of the questions before so you know how to explain it clearly. Get all of your information from reliable sources so you know stuff is true and not just rumours. Communication styles and body language. There are two types of body language. The first one is positive. This is remaining eye contact the whole time with an open body and a straight posture. Negative is fidgeting, looking around, hands folded, fidgeting with your hands and not answering the question properly. You must be concise when you are speaking with answers so you do not lose the point you are trying to make. Always make sure you are talking correctly about information, otherwise you will look like an idiot. Give all the information on a question. Depending on the type of interview you are in, you will have to behave in a certain way. So you can be passive, so you are relaxed. This could be after a win. Or assertive, so you are trying to get one point across. And then aggressive, so if you are reacting to another person's comment. Personal delivery. Make sure you are using the right vocabulary in order to get your point across and everyone can understand what you want to say. Make sure the pattern of your voice sounds the same so they know you are telling all the info and truth about something. Appearance. No offensive slogans on clothing, so just something your sponsors or club give to you to wear with an interview. Make sure that you read the environment correctly. So joining a new club, turn up in a suit so you are saying this is an important occasion for you and the club. And at the same point, turn up in a club tracksuit if you're at a training session. Wear nothing revealing clothes. So no revealing clothes should be worn, so normal clothing, no vests or low cut tops. Make sure you look clean, so hair is tidy, and make sure you have shaved for the interview. Timing. You are a role model to all your fans, so you must show you are responsible and you turn up to the interview on time, otherwise you are not setting a good example. Two media interviews. Firstly, what you're saying. The two different types of interviews I will talk about is the TV press conference interview situation and the newspaper interview. There are a lot of differences to these interviews. Firstly, what you are saying to interviewer is all down on tape and everyone can see it, whereas someone doing a newspaper interview will just take down notes. And this means the athlete could be misquoted and made to look bad on something they have said which has been taken out of context. In TV interviews, you can also see the person's facial expression, and you can see the way that they are saying it. So they would say something in a joking way, and everyone can see this by the way they said it. But in a newspaper, they will just see the quote, so they can look bad in this way. When in a TV interview, this means it has more likely been set up with some time to prep, so they have been able to talk to a press officer and told what they can say about the club and what they can't say, whereas in a newspaper article they have caught them anywhere during the interview, so they may not be prepared to answer a certain question. A newspaper interview will not show you how they have dressed or how they look, so this could be an advantage to the athlete who would normally be shown poorly in a TV interview. When you are communicating with significant others, you may be a little more relaxed than a TV interview because you have a good relationship with them, and that's why they are significant others. But as an athlete, there may be some serious conversations you have to have with a significant other. For example, talking to a sponsor in order to get more funding for the sport. So you have to make yourself seem really enthusiastic about the possibilities that you can gain from this. And you must be positive when talking to them in order for them to think that you can achieve great things. When talking to an official of a game, you must be respectful to the official, and there are campaigns around in order to get people to respect them. The captains of each team in football will have a meeting with the official before the game, so you must turn up with a firm handshake and ask appropriate questions so you can get the information out of the ref on how his style is to ref, so if he allows quick free kicks, for example. When meeting with your manager, depending on the situation, depends on how you should address them, but you must always be respectful. If you're going to talk to them for a pay rise or a contract extension, then you must be in a suit and freshly clean because you are talking more about business more than the game.